Hello, everyone. I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and I'm hosting Creating an Inspired Life. I'm so happy to be here with you today on this Thursday evening here in the United States. And we're just having a ball here today, and I hope you've been having a ball as well. Now, my passion on this show, Creating an Inspired Life, is to help you create your inspired life. Everyone has their own unique inspired life, the life that when you wake up in the morning, you're excited to get out of bed for. The life that you are creating is the one you're going to love. And I like to, on this show, just bring in a couple of coaching tips here and there. Take a couple callers, do whatever, so I can give you these small little steps, action steps, practical action steps that can help you create your life. It's the simplest things, the simplest mind shifts, the simplest thoughts, the simplest ideas that actually create our most profound, awesome, inspiring life. And that's what we're going to do today, as usual. I'm a medium, and as a medium, I connect with people on the other side, and we ask them to come in to provide messages, and they like to talk to their loved ones who are still here in the physical. So we talk to them. I'm also psychic, so I just give my impressions. Whatever strikes me is what I'll tell you. I like to tell people I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'll give you my impressions, and if spirit on the other side tells you what to do, you take it as you want to take it. I'm also a spiritual life coach, so I talk about all sorts of things, helping people move forward in their lives to create the life that they want to create. And we do all sorts of things with that, figuring out what's stopping them and all that, and it's a wonderful time. Now, on this show, we always do a little bit of a coaching tip, and I also take a couple of callers. And today's coaching tip is on being open to new opportunities. Have you ever been so focused on something that you can only see one outcome, one solution, and you really truly believe that that's the only solution that's right for you? And what you might see when you do this, you'll think that something is right for you. You don't actually see any other options. You don't see anything else out there for you because you're so focused on one thing. And with that, we're humans. We have limited perspective. We don't know the big picture. And sometimes what we think is the only solution, we exclude everything else that's out there. We just get rid of everything else, other opportunities that could come in. We just don't see beyond. We stop other opportunities from coming into our lives. It's actually limiting ourselves if we're not open to other opportunities. I'm not telling you to not have goals or anything like that, because I love goals. Goals are great. But you also have to say to yourself, I'd like this or something better. So you recognize there's more to life than just what you think the answer is. When I think about, sometimes I talk to people they're very stuck on one person. They think this one person is the answer to their dreams, the answer to their prayers. And it may be that that person doesn't even know you exist, number one. They may know you exist, but they really don't care. Or it could be that you've had a relationship with them, but they've moved on, but you haven't moved on. So you're stuck and you're focused on this one person. You're missing out on other people who could come in. It's almost as though you're obsessed and you're closing off other people. It's the same thing with a job. We get a job, we think, an interview, we go, yeah, this is great. This looks like a great job. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of potential here. And then we don't get the job. And we're upset about that, which we should be, because if you wanted it, you should have some emotions about it. But maybe with that, maybe it really wasn't a good fit. Maybe you would get the job and it would have been a bad situation for you. And maybe something else better would have come in. But instead of thinking that way, you might focus on the fact that you missed what you think is a really awesome, wonderful opportunity. And maybe it's really not. And maybe the universe is saving you from something. People say, I've heard so many people tell me that they got that job, the job of their dreams, and then they get there and it turns out it wasn't at all like they thought. Or maybe they didn't get the job and then they found something else better. And it's the same thing with a relationship. You might have a relationship and you think, this is great, this is wonderful, I want it again, even though we've ended it. I want that relationship back. But maybe if you were to be open to different opportunities, somebody else might come in who would be even better than the relationship you were in. If you're focused on a certain outcome, a certain person, a certain situation, to the exclusion of everything else. You're obsessed. I'm just going to say you're obsessed. Okay, I've been there. I know what it's like. You're obsessed. Okay, you need to figure out, are you happy? Now, if you're happy obsessing about whatever's going on and thinking about it over and over and over again, well, then good. You just keep doing that, and that's cool. But if you're miserable, then you have to make some changes on that. You have to figure out what is important. You have to figure out how to move on from that. If you can recognize that you have a limited perspective, that what you think is the sole answer, the best answer, may not be the answer. Once you recognize that there might be those other opportunities out there, then other things will come in for you. You'll attract other information. You'll have an energy shift will come in for you. One way to shift the thoughts, there's a lot of ways, but I'm just going to talk about one way because we don't have all day. But one way to shift is to accept that you might not have any control over the situation. You might not have any control over the outcome. And if a person is not interested in you, then they're not interested in you. So you need to let go and move on. Same thing with a job. You don't get the job, you need to let go and move on. Because in that action of letting go, moving on, you've accepted what's happening. And then that also allows the energy of other people, other situations, other opportunities to come into you. Things usually work out if we allow them to work out. It's amazing, actually, how that happens. And if you're open to a new job, a new person, whatever, I'm just using those as examples. Obviously, they'll apply to other situations as well. But if you're open, you won't limit yourself to just that certain outcome, that certain focus, that certain solution that you think is best. There are so many wonderful opportunities out there for us that we have no awareness of. We don't know really what's out there. And I'm sure if you think about it and you go back in your life, you can see some times where you thought something was bad, and then maybe a year later you found out, you know what? It wasn't that bad. It actually was a good thing it came out that way. So if you can think back to some of those, that will help you recognize. So my coaching today is to recognize that there are more opportunities out there than we can imagine, and be open to them. And I would love to hear from you, hear your thoughts on this. And you can reach me at psychicmediumcolleen.com. You can also reach me at Medium Coach Colleen Vanderzyden on Facebook, Medium Coach Colleen Vanderzyden. And I would love to hear what you think about all of these things. And I hope you take what I've said in your thoughts so you can move forward with these things. And now what we're going to do, we're going to move on to our first caller, who is Angelica in Chicago. Angelica, how are you?
Great. How are you? It's wonderful to be able to speak to you.
I'm very happy to talk to you tonight. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving today?
Yes, I did.
Okay, awesome. So how can I help you tonight? Are you looking for just a generic reading, or do you have something in specific in mind?
Just a general reading. I think just a general.
Okay. And it's interesting, too, because I can feel right away, I've got two people coming in for you. I've got a man and a wife. Okay. They feel as though they belong together to me. So we'll see if they both talk. He seems to be on the more quiet side. He's not going to talk too much. The woman coming in, she's giving me sensations of having some stomach issues. She does strike me as being older, around, she might have made it to 76. I'm feeling 72, 76 area in that way. She does feel very grandmotherly to me, so I don't know if she's your grandmother or if she is a grandmother, but she feels very grandmotherly. Yeah, she says that she is a grandmother, and she tells me that she's not one of those cuddly grandmothers necessarily, that people know she loves them and all that stuff, but at the same time, she can get things out there. She can be direct if she has to be. Do you have a grandmother who's like that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And was she really direct on things sometimes?
Yes, yes, definitely.
And I get a bit of stubbornness, too. Now, her husband, is her husband on the other side as well?
No, he's not.
He's still here? Okay, because I've got a gentleman with her. Okay, so I don't know who this is, but I want to tell you about him, though, because I really kind of like him, too. He's a gentler personality than she is. Okay, and he feels like he's somebody who's on the quieter side, that thing. But there's also this awareness with him. He's very humble. He's not egotistical, that kind of thing. There's a very humble feeling about him, but with that also comes a lot of strength, a lot of confidence as well. And it's a little, I think people might misread him at times just because he's on the little bit quieter side. They might think that he doesn't really know what he's talking about, but he does know what he's talking about. And he's actually very intelligent. And interestingly, I thought she was going to talk first, but I guess he's really going to go at it because he's talking about you. He's okay. He's telling me you tend to sometimes get down on yourself. Do you beat yourself up a little bit?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he talks about that, and because the first thing he said to me is how smart you are. That you do understand a lot of things, but it's like you discount yourself and what you do know, what you experience, what you feel, what you think. It's almost like you discount it sometimes. And he's very encouraging and actually is kind of, it's almost like he's holding you up in a way, telling you, no, that's not who you are at all. And he's very much emphatic about this. I get such a good feeling from him about you because he says you know so many things. It's just, you've had some life situations, it feels like, that have kind of made you question your judgment and stuff at times.
Yeah.
And okay, she's jumping back in. Okay, I guess we're going to go back and forth between the two. She's coming. Did your grandmother have stomach issues, do you know? Because she's showing it to me again.
Yes, she does.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure. I know I didn't overeat. I was good about it today. But she's showing me that. When they show me that, it takes me back to them so I can come in again. And, she's a little bit more forward with you than he is because she's actually kind of going, stop it. she's kind of yelling at you for not recognizing yourself and how awesome you are. Oh, very interesting. She comes through with so much love for you. I do have to tell you that. Did she have a heart issue as well? Do you know? I feel all of a sudden something in my chest area.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay, because I'm feeling a bit of that as well. And it seems like she kind of is a poo-poo person. And by that, I mean a poo-poo. I don't have a heart issue. There's no problem. I'm fine. Don't bother. Don't bother me. I'm fine. I get a lot of that energy from her. Oh, interesting. Yeah, she tends to hide who she really is as well. I don't know if you know this. You'll have to tell me if this is accurate because she gives me the impression she puts out a certain air with herself, but that's not really who she is too. That she may act like she's, really direct and, sometimes says things she shouldn't say. But underneath that, it's almost like it's a protective shell for her, and she actually feels a little more sensitive underneath. Do you know about that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You're the same way, she says. Are you the same way?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I love these people. They come in and they tell us all sorts of stuff. And it's really interesting because when she's talking about that, boy. She shows herself to me, talking to people around her, and certain people who didn't know her well wouldn't have realized that she's actually different than this. But family has a better awareness of that. And she's really giving you a push. Okay. Now they're kind of arguing with each other. That's lovely. Because she's kind of pushing you and wanting you to really just kind of stand up for yourself and trust your intuition, trust what's going on inside yourself. Because you get those feelings and you think something and then you're like, oh no, that can't be true. That can't be true. No. And then it turns out it is. And so she's pushing you. Now he's telling her not to be so hard on you. Okay. So we have a spirit argument here. I love when they do that. That's fun. Not really. They like it. They think it's fun. So, yeah, it's so interesting. Who in the physical right now, in the physical here, has back issues going on?
My grandfather.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Because all of a sudden I'm getting back issues coming in. And there's a lot, and actually they don't really feel good. Is he having a real tough time walking and getting up and down and getting out of bed and everything? Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay. They show me things in my body, and boy, it just doesn't feel good to me at all. And I'd see him slowing down, obviously, because he's having a really hard time moving. And boy, does he have a cane as well?
Yes, he does.
Okay, because she's talking about a cane and him walking with the cane, and she says sometimes he doesn't use the cane when he should use the cane, and she wants him to use the cane. She's very
Yeah, that is true.
she's very emphatic on this. Oh boy, that must have been an interesting relationship. We won't go there. So because I can see she would be very strong-willed at times. Yeah. When she's talking about him, she's telling me about how much he's sitting, and if he would actually get up and walk around a little bit more, he might feel a little bit better. Now, I'm not a doctor. I assume she's not a doctor either, so I don't know, but that's what she's saying. He needs to get up and walk around a little bit more, and that might help. I realize that would be difficult, okay, from what, the feelings I'm getting in my body. I can't imagine that. It's got to be very hard for him to do that, but she does talk about that. She also sends so much love to you. I get such a sense of, if you ever needed somebody to talk to on the other side and you wanted to get advice back, she would be the one to get it from, because she comes through very strongly, as does he, this other person, but she comes through very strongly. And it's like she really wants to encourage you, support you, be there for you. It feels in a lot of ways like a guide to me. Sometimes people say, oh, my grandmother's my guardian angel. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting from her.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of similarities between the two of you. And she wants you to step up a little bit more into yourself and be more confident. She's not telling me you're a wimp or anything like that, okay? So don't take that wrong.
Okay.
But she wants you to really stand in your power as to who you really are. She sends you so much love. And so does this other person, too. Do you know who the other one is that I was talking to?
I do not know.
That's okay. Sometimes it takes us a little bit to remember who we're talking to as we're going, so that's okay. He seems to know you quite well, so I would anticipate he's related to her in some way, okay, because they seem to go together. On the other side, of course, they all know each other, but at the same thing, I do feel as though they're related somehow, so there's something there. Okay, so I will leave that with you with a whole bunch of love from both of them. They are so happy to be talking to you, I have to tell you that. So you can continue carrying on your conversation with her, because she's going to stay with you for a little bit longer. So you can just go talk to her.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you. And that was Angelica from Chicago. And next, we're going to move on to Bobby Joe from Nova Scotia in Canada. Bobby Joe, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm having a great day. Are you having a great day?
I am.
Awesome.
I'm very happy to have gotten through. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know. I've seen sometimes that it's a little hard to get through sometimes because so many people are calling in and want help. So are you looking for something in particular? Are you looking for general reading? Or are you looking for some specific information, like my impressions on something?
I did want to know when I initially called about career-wise, I guess, or finances. But then when you came on medium, if you have any messages from the other side, that would be great too.
Okay. I always check in on the other side. Even if I'm going to talk about something where I get psychic impressions from too, I always do that first just to, I don't know, see who shows up mostly. Oh, we've got a couple people have come in for you already. Do you have a woman who passed on the younger side, like 30s or 40 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, because all of a sudden I'm feeling a younger woman coming in, and she got here fast. she's a bit enthusiastic. Do you have somebody who's really quite enthusiastic on the other side?
Yeah.
There's a certain energy about her. I like her energy. She would be fun. I want to call her a little crazy, and she doesn't mind at all. Because there's a lot. I said I want to call her crazy, and you never know how they're going to take that. But in my mind, crazy is always fun. So and she doesn't mind that at all. I feel a lot of excitement, passion. I feel a lot of even some drama. she doesn't mind that either. Okay. Even some drama.
Yeah.
I get a lot of up and down. I feel so excited with her. She's very happy to be talking to you. Let me tell you this. Very excited. Is she related to you, or is she a friend?
Yes.
Both. She is very close to you, very close to you. You talk to her quite a bit, she says. Do you talk to her a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
She
talk
says
to all my angels all the time.
Yeah. She's, interestingly, because she passed on the younger side, sometimes the spirits will come in and they'll be, oh, I passed too soon, da, da, da. And she's kind of like, yeah, things happen. And it's kind of an interesting blasé response from her. Because for her, she doesn't really want to see people upset. She doesn't want to see people sad. She recognizes that, here in the physical, we would be sad that she's left. Okay, now she's getting a little weird because she just said, yeah, and they should be crying about it, but she's laughing, okay? she's not,
Sounds right.
She's making a joke about it. I know it sounds irreverent, doesn't it? And she says, no, it doesn't. Oh, wow, she's going strong now. She goes, no, it doesn't.
But you know what, though? That sounds perfectly right.
That sounds perfectly like her. Yeah, because it's funny. First thing she says is, I don't want people sad. And then she goes, no, but they should be crying about it. They should be crying. But then she laughs. And I think, wow, this is fun. But, for her, she's on the other side, and she's telling me, I can't say those words on the air. She's using a colorful language to say how much fun she's having there. So I'm sure you probably know some of the words she wanted to use and how much fun it is. She's telling you not to worry about her, not to worry about anything. She's saying everything that happened with her body, not to worry about that either, because it was here, it was gone. It was no big deal. And on the other side, sometimes they look back on their bodies and they're like, yeah, that happened. Oh well. And the blasé, matter of fact part of it. She gets a little more serious right now. She said she does want me to say that she doesn't want you to think she's discounting people's feelings, that she does understand that people were upset, all upset. She doesn't want you to get the wrong idea that she's, being weird, but she says you understand very well. So
totally. If anyone does, it's me. Yep, for sure.
She's I really like her. She's talking about having gotten into some trouble. Was she one of those when she was younger, who was a free spirit, shall we say, and just did whatever she wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. She's talking about that and how much fun it was. Boy, she has no regrets. I can tell you this. I'm not feeling any regrets from her right now. She is just...
Oh, that's so good to know.
She is like living it up. She's recognized the value of her life. She's recognized the good things of her life. She wants to thank you, because she says you have made some really good choices with her in mind. I don't know what these are, but it's like you've thought, okay, what would she do? She would say this. Well, I'm going to do this because she would have liked it. That kind of thing. And when she gives me that, she gives me such a sense of joy. It's a sense of joy. She's so happy.
Oh, good.
I mean, she's happy on the other side, but she's happy about you. She's happy about the things you've done. She says, don't worry about the money stuff. Don't worry about it. She says, you haven't starved to death yet, so don't worry about it.
That's true.
And she says, it always has a way of working out. And she says, I could take care of this for you. And then she laughs. So I don't know if she really can or not. But so you do it that way you want. But she's like, I can take care of that for you. And I think she's making a little bit of a joke, kind of saying, I've got the power here. I can do whatever I want. That kind of thing.
Bring it on. No harm to none.
Yeah. And have you actually seen her in dreams?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because she's talking about dreams and you seeing her. And there is a difference between a dream and a vision, a spirit vision where you actually see somebody and you remember everything down to the second, and a year later you'd still remember it. That's a vision. And she says you're really easy to bug. And bother.
True.
True. She says you're really easy to bother. And she's enjoying it. so, oh boy, this is going to be fun. Frequently when somebody tells me that from the other side, that means watch out because she's going to come in and she might start doing some other things. She might start messing with your phone, your lights. God knows what she's going to do because she's just.
Oh, God. Don't do anything scary.
Oh, geez. No. Oh, gosh. Now I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So it'll be fun, though. I get such a. Okay. You have a piece of paper that belonged to her. Has her picture on it. What is this piece of paper? Do you have like a prayer card? What am I seeing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because all of a sudden she's showing it to me. Do you not have this out?
My prayer card is not out, no.
Okay, apparently she wants it out because she's like, do you not have this out? Okay, so.
That's funny because I'm looking at the spot where it is right now. I will pull it out right now.
Okay, good. Okay, now I'm just about running out of time apparently. I'm going to just get a final word from her. She says she loves you very much. She says, and she's sending you so much gratitude. Thank you. So many thank yous. She said you were there. She says she just loves you so much. She's getting serious. So she says she loves you so much. She keeps saying it. So, okay, I guess I'll stop talking to her right now. Okay, you go visit her now. Go visit Bobby Joe. Okay, she'll come and see you. Okay.
Thank you so very much. It's so heartwarming.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for calling. And now is Bobby Joe from Nova Scotia. Now I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and this was Creating an Inspired Life. And my passion, as always, is to help you create your best life, however I can help you do it. And remember, this week, be open to new opportunities. Be open to new situations. Don't focus on just one thing to the exclusion of everything else. There's always whatever you want or something better. And you can reach me at psychicmediumcolleen.com. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.